Alabama's Governor Kay Ivey put pen to paper in signing the nation's most restrictive abortion ban into law. It makes no exceptions for rape or incest, a provision that could send a doctor to prison for up to 99 years, a life sentence for performing an abortion, and even 10 years for even attempting it. Alabama's new law sparked an unexpected response from televangelist Pat Robertson.
I think Alabama has gone too far. There's no exception for rape or incest. It's an extreme law, and they want to challenge Roe versus Wade. But my humble view is that this is not the case we want to bring to the Supreme Court, because I think this one will lose.
Now, Robertson has a point there. Legal analysts say the Alabama law is likely to be blocked immediately by lower courts because it directly violates Supreme Court precedent. And getting to the Supreme Court is the obvious calculus of anti-abortion groups, where they hope the conservative majority would strike down Roe v. Wade, the law of the land since in 1973. Let's go straight to CNN Supreme Court analyst Joan Biskupic. Joan, how quickly might this, if it does, end up in the Supreme Court?
Not quickly at all, Brooke. It's interesting when even Pat Robertson says this is too much, too fast, too far. It conflicts flatly with the law of the land, which says that government cannot put an undue burden on a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy before viability, which is essentially 24 weeks, or at least it starts then. So this law is such a bold assault on Roe. And no lower court judge could possibly allow it to go into effect without defying decades of Supreme Court precedent. So whatever challenges will begin immediately, and probably what will happen immediately is the lower court will block this law from taking any kind of effect. And then eventually it might be heard on the merits in lower courts. But because of how strongly it's worded and how it precludes abortion in just about every circumstance, the Supreme Court is likely not even to take it up, not take up this one. Now, down the road, Brooke, the Supreme Court might take up a ban on abortion, but not right now. And I think that's why someone like Pat Robertson fears a showdown over something that cannot go anywhere. I should add, though, there are more moderate measures, or that's using the word a little bit loosely, because abortion rights people think that even less restrictive measures so infringe the right a woman has to end a pregnancy that they undermine the legal opinions of Roe. But those more moderate ones, so to speak, compared to Alabama's, are in the works, moving up with greater chance for the justices to weigh in than on the law from Alabama.
What about, the justices have been, as you know, so reluctant to take on cases involving abortion recently. Do you think that they have been waiting for a signature case like this?
Absolutely not. In fact, this is exactly the kind of case they do not want. And I'll tell you why. You're exactly right, Brooke, that they have not weighed in on abortion rights since 2016, when they heard a Texas case involving regulation of physicians and clinics that perform abortions. That just gives you an example of the kinds of restrictions they've been grappling with. Access, physician requirements, informed consent, waiting periods, nothing like an outright ban. And the ones that they have postponed action on, the disputes that are up there from, for example, Indiana and Louisiana, the ones that they have, just sort of waiting for them to act on, they don't go as far as this, of course, but I don't think the justices want to weigh in at all. Remember, this is Brett Kavanaugh's first term, and all eyes are on the Supreme Court precisely because he succeeded Anthony Kennedy, who was the key fifth vote to keep abortion legal nationwide.
Got it. I hear your resounding no answers to all of my questions. Not now. Joan Biskupic, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brooke.
And Missouri state Republicans have just passed its own anti-abortion bill, we should point out. It forbids abortions once a heartbeat is detected, similar to other heartbeat bills passed in other states. Supporters call it one of the best in the country and believe most of it will be held up in court. The bill must pass the House before it hits the governor's desk. Missouri joins a growing list of states passing anti-abortion legislation in hopes of overturning Roe v. Wade.